Rangers was planning on doing a skit. Maybe something with the Triple K down here. I was kind of thinking of having these guys do like maybe a brother thing. Like, hey, Biollante, stop picking on me. I'm going to get my brothers and Big Brother show up. But instead, we're going to do advertising for my Etsy. Hooray! Sure you guys are excited. But anyways, did the recording a few days ago. Didn't have these made yet, but now I do. Which is a legendary beam. Well, not legendary beam. Heisei beam. Gotta get my Godzilla errors correct. But what this is it's 3D printed using blue translucent resin. As you can see, the paint job I did with it, I left the blue intact, so it's still it's still see-through. But I painted over top of it with some whites and silvers to kind of give it that more Heisei beam look on the ends. Decided to make it look a little bit more like the Dark Horse comics in a way, where it has like that little spraying at the end. And then this goes inside of his mouth. It's crazy, I know. So if you guys are looking for a beam for your Heisei Godzilla, we do have them available. Also got a little hole in the bottom here, so you can put it on a Tamashii X stand, not included, sadly. But if you guys are looking for stands, if you would like to pick one up, I'll put an affiliate link in the description so that you guys can get some through Amazon. But overall, really like the way it came out. Has a nice little, once I get it lined up anyways, you guys can see, but it has a little bit of the energy kind of spraying out to the sides of the mouth. And then sits pretty nicely in there. I tried to, after printing them, I tend to sand these a little bit in order to get some grooves in there. So he's got a little place for his tongue to rest. Also, my fingernails are dirty, but I literally was just working on these guys. So it works with that. To be fair, could also work with the Triple K here if you guys would like a beam for this guy. If you want another different beam for your NECA, that is also an option that works. Got another Heisei Godzilla. This one's probably the one that works the best with, because I made this guy look more like Marvel Dark Horse comic. And I think it looks really cool, to be fair. Or hell, maybe you don't like the flamethrower for the legendary, and you want him to have more of a Heisei beam. Also very appropriate for him as well. So again, I'll have a link in the description below for the Etsy shop. I'll have some of these available. I'm currently printing them, so we'll have batches I'll be putting up there. I think I could probably print 80 of these at a time. So just make sure if they're sold out when you guys go to check them out after the video, I will have more on there. I try to keep at least one batch readily available. And we actually just sold out all my legendary beams, so I had to put some more of those up recently too. I go through a lot of blue resin lately. Because here's the standard Tamashii beams, which is this guy here, which doesn't really work 100%. It sort of does, but I don't know. For me, while it'll do the trick, I personally kind of liked the shape of this because it just makes more sense with the way like Godzilla's mouth is, and that it would kind of shoot more wide and thinner coming down. So make it a little bit more unique than just the standard cylinder with the spraying on the end, which I plan on doing some more like these, but wanted to, for each Godzilla, kind of make their beams a little bit more unique compared to the other ones. But this will be 16 bucks on Etsy, plus shipping. So link will be in the description if you guys are interested in getting one. Again, also have an affiliate link if you guys don't have any extra stands laying around from your Godzilla figures. There'll be a link down there as well to be able to pick up some stands. But anyways, let's get to the video. Listen up, Rangers! Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnes.
And today we'll be going over the SH MonsterArts Godzilla 1989 from Godzilla vs. Biollante.
That's a good movie.
Heck yeah.
That's one of my top 5 for sure.
My number 2.
Oh ho ho.
Used to be number 1 for a while, but then I just slowly realized that I still just like 62 way better.
I was gonna say, then you saw the 62.
Yeah. Well, I liked King Kong vs. Godzilla for like the longest time, and then this was like the new hotness.
I think I just puked a little. What'd you say, Steve? You like the old King Kong?
Yeah.
With Godzilla that gets electrical powers. And...
Heck yeah, and he gets drunk. There's the lady that does the dancings, which I'd appreciate. Younger Steve definitely liked that. You know? I was like, we need her more in our lives.
You know, the sad thing is...
They wanted me to smoke because kids got cigarettes.
I
don't think it was a good influence on me as a child.
I want
still.
them with the new Godzilla to make a Biollante. Like, that is one monster that I wish they would redo.
To be honest, it kind of... I don't know. In the realm of realism for giant monster movies, I think they could make it make more sense than
yeah.
Space dragons being fused with metal to make a giant robot in modern time.
Godzilla took a poop and then he pooped on some roses and Biollante came out, you know?
Yeah, they're just doing like, hey, we got some Godzilla cells from the one fight. Let's like splice his DNA with like some plants. Maybe we can boost production or something, and then things go horribly awry.
You know, that sounds like a bad idea. Never mind.
Something like that. But because at that point, you don't even really need to have seen the other movies. You could just literally just go off that, right? Like people just have to know who Godzilla kind of is.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have seen the movies. Anyways, I digress. But also one of my favorite suits. Really like this suit in particular. Also just really sweet that they're putting out some more Heisei stuff to kind of round out the collection.
Yeah, at least they're putting effort into it.
It's something different than Legendary, at least, which is nice. Granted, missing quite a bit of Legendary stuff, but at least it's something to kind of spice things up in between the releases. But anyways, let's just get into it. So without further ado, for the packaging, overall, really like it. It's a lot of oranges. You get what looks like water in the background, which helps to kind of replicate that water scene.
It looks
when you first meet Biollante.
It's not the best box, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I wish the coloring was different. I think orange, it stands out, but for me, it doesn't feel very Biollante.
Yeah.
I think like greens are like
it's missing the Biollante aspect.
Yeah,
of
like
that
an
box.
aqua blue would have
or
been cool.
Even the movie.
Yeah, just kind of like replicate the way it was in there. On the side, you just get some slashes. You get the name. Back of the package just shows him in some poses. You got Biollante about to make some num-nums out of Godzilla's head. Get a nice little profile shot on this side. Top, more slashes. Bottom, some Lego mumbo jumbo and a lot of crap I can't understand. There's comments. Sure.
Why don't you understand it, Steve?
I'm sorry. I wanted to learn Japanese the longest time, and then I tried doing it myself, gave up, and never went back.
Reality hit you.
And then I just kind of catch a couple of things from animes. That's usually about it. But anyway, since he's opened up out of his cardboard prison, let's get into him. Alright, so now that we got Godzilla opened up out of its cardboard prison, first and foremost, doesn't come with any accessories.
Whoa, what?
It's just Godzilla. Godzilla all the time. 90? I think it was 90. He's a little more expensive than the Legendary ones, which at least the 2021 you got an extra hand.
I was expecting maybe 500.
Maybe 6, you know.
You know.
It's the price of that new Mezco without lights.
That's not bad. Honestly, I was expecting $70 for no accessories.
Yeah, I think because it doesn't come with anything, it should have been a little cheaper.
Yeah, $70.
Because especially, again, the Legendary one came with at least extra hands and also was like $20 less. And this guy, while being relatively the same size, is just more expensive for reasons. Like, it's pretty much at this point, they just know we're going to buy it, so why not?
They don't care.
But then, they would have had to pay somebody to sculpt this, while the other one, they probably had a model or something that they used. So, I could kind of see why that one's a little cheaper, but still, in terms of just like what you're getting for your money, it's not quite there. At least accessory-wise.
No, not really.
Alright, and then a closer look at his details for his head sculpt. Looks really good. Pretty much, it's kind of what you come to expect with the MonsterArts. Like, it looks like the 89.
We always gotta look inside of the mouth, Steve.
Rawr. It's also a little off-center, but you can adjust.
Did you punch him?
Just
So angry, Steve.
But you can adjust in order to get that to look correct. But detailing on the mouth is really nice, where you get some reds, you get some blacks there to give it a little bit more color variety. You get some detailing in the roof of the mouth. He's got his multiple layers of teeth, which is correct for the Heisei suit. One thing that at least issue on mine is that his front teeth are missing some paint. So the majority of it's good, but these little front guys are just red.
When you look at a camera from like this point, Steve, it looks like he's missing a tooth. It looks like he got punched out.
Yeah, it kind of blends in with the mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
And then for the eyes are on a darker color. It's more of a browns and blacks. Might have been nice to have had a little bit more color in there just so they stand out a little better. But overall, not too shabby. Rest of the detailing on the face looks good. Nice hard edges. You get that predominant nose. You get the ears, which started showing back up on this, well, like 85 had ears? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think it was this one, is the one that they started on.
Somebody would yell at us if we were wrong.
If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Dorsal spines look really solid too. Done in a lighter gray. Not super bright. It kind of very typical for a lot of the MonsterArts coloring, with some darker grays in the center. There is a little bit of difference between each of the plates and how much dark grays and light grays there are. Like this one definitely doesn't really have that much. Same with on the inside, but the outsides have a little bit more. That one has a crap ton on it. Like it almost looks yellow. That one got splooged a little too hard. Yeah, that one did too. Okay, at least it's consistent, so I can't be that upset. To me, it kind of gives it, the way the color in the spines look, it has that more VHS vibe.
That's a good thing.
Instead of Blu-ray. Like Blu-ray, I imagine the colors are supposed to be a little bit brighter, but with the yellow, it kind of gives you that, like the film's been exposed for a little bit kind of look to it. Which I actually like. It tends to be how I paint a lot of the older Godzilla spines, at least nowadays. Is I try to make them look more like how they did in the old VHSs and what have you. And then you can see it coming along the tail. It goes all the way to the tip with the paint job, which is really good. The only negative I see in terms of the coloring is that some spots are way more predominantly black than charcoal.
Yeah.
That gray.
I don't know if that's just yours or everyone.
Nah, it's very sporadic. Like some people have had really messed up teeth.
Yours are iffy.
Yeah, well, mine are fine. Like it wouldn't be nothing for me to complain about. But the neck has barely any grays on it, so it definitely stands out between the top of the where the head joint is, and then the shoulders. This side's not as bad, but you can see as you're turning, it has like that harsh cutoff where the gray just really disappears.
Yeah.
And then wraps all the way around. And he's got that in a few spots. Like up here on the top of the thigh. Inside the arms aren't too bad. But the one I noticed originally was at the feet.
Oh, yeah.
Where this one's definitely gray. It's super noticeable. And then once I got it into better lighting, I started realizing the neck. And such. And you can see, like on the sides of the feet too. It's not just shadowing. So, to be honest, he might be one of the first MonsterArts I slightly touch up.
Yeah.
Just to kind of make the neck blend a little bit better. Same with the feet.
Because the neck is
and then fix the teeth. But other than that.
To me, the neck is the one that stands out because it's like higher up. I'm not going to look at his feet, you know what I mean? It's not the first thing I see. But the neck, definitely.
I'll look at his feet.
You got a fake feet thing, Steve?
Look at him. They're so chunky.
To each their own, I don't judge.
I imagine that'd be kind of rough, though, with the way the scales are.
Probably.
It'd be like sandpaper. Anyways. Tail, it's a bunch of segmented joints, but the way the Heisei suit was set up anyways, it actually kind of works for that. Under sections is a little bit smoother in terms of the scaling than the sides of the tail. One other thing, too, to point out is that for the mouth, he actually has a bit of a curve to the jaw. It's not just straight out.
Yeah, I just
It has a
noticed
little
that,
bit
actually.
of a bend to it. So it's almost kind of like a teardrop shape, the way his mouth is. Which, personally, I kind of like. It gives him a really...
It's designed for that beam that he never...
Yeah, that he never had. I think it gives him a more menacing-looking roar. Problem is, when he closes his mouth, he's always going to have that kind of snarl look to him. You can't really fully close the mouth. And, like, that's pretty much it. You can maybe heat it up and warp it a little bit if you really wanted to, but personally, I kind of like it.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
Yeah, I think when eventually have the beams on Etsy, I think this will actually make it a little easier to kind of work with. But other than that, nails done in a yellowish bone coloring, which hand here too. Like that one's actually pretty more on the black side than this one too. It's like one side's just way more dark than the other for reasons. It's almost kind of like on purpose. Maybe like the sun's supposed to be on this side. Like, he's supposed to be approaching this way, so maybe the shadowing makes more sense. He's kind of cel-shaded.
You ever thought maybe we're wrong, Steve, and stupid?
I wonder that every day. And chest detailing looks really nice, where you get his pecs. You get that bulge in the center of his chest. Actually, that bulge kind of just comes all the way down. Giggity. Which is with his thunder thighs.
Thick thighs do save lives, Steve. Just
all that muscle, which I'm not sure how that actually works as muscles, but it's muscles. Got some kneecaps. And yeah, like again, overall, like the sculpt is gorgeous. It's just the paint's a little bit hit and miss on this guy for sure. But nothing like drastic enough where I would be like, oh god, like why did I buy this thing? But he's got some problems. So I'd say, to be honest, for me, I think it's the teeth are probably the worst thing about it.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, especially at a distance, he kind of looks like somebody knocked out his tooth, like Arnes was saying.
Well, like on my aside from the camera, it looks like he really got punched in his mouth.
Yeah, it's like I see his fangs, and that's about it. But anyways, where's articulation? Mouth can open and close. Head can look about that far, down about that far. He can wiggle side to side. You get a bit of a rotation, nothing too crazy. Arms can go up about that far, down about that far. Rotates all the way around. Get a nice bend at the elbow. Hands can rotate. A little bit of a wiggle, which wiggles in all directions. Then first chest. Can't really do too much. That's about as far as it goes down. About as far as it goes up. A little bit of a wiggle. Little bit of a rotation.
Is that because of the spines, or because there's not? Well, I've seen other Godzillas with more movement.
Yeah, well, you can see the way it's shaped. It's kind of got a U to it. So you're not going to get too much side.
I guess it makes sense now.
You get more forward and back, but to be fair, this like when you see the suit in the movie, it's not like he bends over and anything. Like it's always straight up. So I think that's just it's a joint, but for the characteristics of Godzilla, it works because it just pretty much helps to get him to look down better and look up better. That's about it. Where his legs can go pretty much full splits. Legs go inwards about that far. Legs forward about that far.
You're gonna do a decent kick.
Actually, you can almost rotate it all the way around, which is pretty good. Really nice bend at the knees. You also got a little bit of rotation at the top of the thigh. A little bit of rotation at the knee. Feet can go a little bit forward and back, side to side. A little bit of a rotation. And the tail can go up about that far, down about that far. Some are definitely a lot more loose than others. And then tail can go side to side. Here is quick comparisons. Here we have the SH MonsterArts Godzilla 1989 compared next to some other SH MonsterArts figures with the Triple K Godzilla 1989 and the 2021 from Godzilla vs. Kong. Hey, here's some more SH MonsterArts figures with the Shin Godzilla and the custom one I repainted of the Heisei Godzilla to look like Marvel / Dark Horse comic version. And here is with the SH MonsterArts Biollante and the NECA Godzilla 1989. And here is some custom painted YMSF figures of the Godzilla 1964 and 1967. And then for some random comparison series with the Playmates Mecha Godzilla 2021 and the Robot Spirits Evangelion Unit 1 from Neon Genesis Evangelion. So overall for the SH MonsterArts Godzilla 1989, I really like this guy. outside of a few paint issues, I think in terms of a sculpt, he is probably one of the better MonsterArts.
Overall,
looking anyways.
Overall, he's not that bad. Maybe if he was like $10, $15 cheaper, he would be perfect.
Yeah, like in the 70 range.
Yeah.
I think I would have been actually pretty pleased with this guy, even with a couple little hiccups.
Well, I mean, the way everything's getting hiked up in prices these days, 90 is not that bad, I guess, if you look at it that way.
Yeah, it just kind of sucks. You're eating like a $20 spike to pick up this guy.
Yep.
And things that were cheaper than him came with more stuff. Like, especially Kong. Like, Kong compared to this guy is such a better value.
Hey.
Not as big of a figure, but just in terms of what he comes with.
Accessory-wise, yes, but I still feel like sculpt-wise, this guy's a little better for me, at least. It's accurate.
Yeah, in terms of sculpt, definitely he beats Kong. Godzilla, and probably about on par.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say he's a little bit better just in terms of like what he's trying to replicate. I think he pulls it off, but the quality control on this guy is a little bit hit and miss. So if you're into the '89 suit, I would recommend it to you.
If you got the Biollante, definitely get this one.
Yes, if you got the Biollante, it's the one you need to pick up. If you're looking for just to have a MonsterArts in your collection, I would probably lean away from this guy. I would go towards the legendary ones over this one.
Yeah, you can do better.
Just because they're cheaper mainly, and you kind of get more for your money. This one's a little bit more geared towards the more hardcore MonsterArts collectors. Or if you're just looking for an '89, actually I was going to say the NECA, but I think the NECA's creeping up quite a bit.
You think so?
You're probably looking about 50-ish bucks for the NECA nowadays.
Ooh. If you're paying $50, pay the 40 and get this guy, okay?
Yeah, like this one definitely I feel pulls off the
NECA
suit
one?
a little better. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I just like the suit.
We'll definitely have to compare it then for sure.
Oh yeah, we'll have a versus video because we got to do the triple K too.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
We have 3 different ones to compare, so we're gonna do it.
3-way battle, baby.
So just to summarize, I personally like this. Sounds like Arnes likes it too. But if you guys are just kind of like somewhat MonsterArts collecting, there's other figures to just collect over this guy. And to be honest, I kind of... Well, okay, the Mezco I think is in some category.
Yeah.
Compared to this one that's up for pre-order, but he don't come out till next year anyways.
It gives you time to save money for him.
Hells yeah. What do you guys think? If you guys picked up this figure, what's your favorite SH MonsterArts Godzilla or Biollante? Just more you think, please let us know in the comments. We also have a Patreon, Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. Guys like to give up the day with you and donate. We greatly appreciate it. Also have an Etsy shop. You guys like to pick up some accessories for your figures and periodically post some custom figures up there as well. Definitely check that out. Link will also be in the description. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.